Hi, everyone. It's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions MC and producer. Joining me today is the goddess of DC, Rayceen Pendarvis. Hey, Rayceen.
Bam! Hey, love. Greetings and salutations, all.
We are so excited today for our guest because today we have joining us Cameron Johnson.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Morning there, but
how about look?
Here.
Good day. Good day.
Good day.
Oh, that's so inclusive. I love it. I love it.
Yes, yes. And of course, Cameron is the co-creator and executive producer of the CW's Tom Swift. It is great to have you here with us today to get to chat about the show and a little bit about you, and all of that. So thank you so much. We want to start this off with having you introduce yourself to our audience and let them know a little bit about your background and experience.
Okay, so my name is Cameron Johnson. I'm from Oakland, Yay area, go Warriors, all that jazz.
Yeah.
I moved to LA to go to USC, and I stayed to be a TV writer. So some shows that I've written on that you may have heard of. I was on a show called Empire. For a few years, writing, cookie slapping folks. So I was on that for the last 2 seasons of that show. I was on a show called Zoe Ever After, which starred Brandy. Brandy is lovely. And then before Tom Swift, I wrote for and this hasn't come out yet, but they're turning the Best Man movies into a limited series for Peacock, and so I was
all right.
So that was those are all. So I specialize in like well done Black television, in which Black people live blackly, and
I love that. We love that. And Tom Swift is definitely giving you that. When you first got the call about this, how did we come up with Tom Swift spinning off from the Nancy Drew series to having its own thing and leaning into that? How did that come about?
So I was, after Empire ended, I was like, it was 2020 and I was, I'd sold some pilots, and I was sort of trying to figure out what my next move was going to be. And I interviewed for I went for the Gossip Girl reboot, which is the company Fake Empire. And so I interviewed, I had two interviews, and there's this woman in the corner, Liz Rowinski, that's my dog. She has notes. And so who's like, she's one of the producers at the company, and she had this weird look in her eyes. I could not figure out what it was. I was like, am I fucking this up? Is there something caught in my beard? Like, what's the problem? And it turned out that what the problem was is that the people who created Nancy Drew, Noga Landau and Melinda Shue Taylor, were trying to do Tom Swift as a spinoff. They had the idea because the same company owned the rights to the books. Tom Swift, if you've read the books before, I have my Tom Swift right there. That's a pretty white man with a nice.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
The hair is blonde in this black and white photo. And they were like, "What if we did this in a different way?" But then they were like, "Wait, hold on. Neither of us are Black or gay. Melinda is Asian and Noga is Israeli." And they were like, so we're going to need to bring on some gay Black people to figure this out. So together we interviewed, we talked about our love of science fiction and James Bond. And for me, I think it's you can always tell when a show that is about Black people has not been written by Black people. You can always tell when a show that is about queer people has not been written by queer people. And so it was super important to me to try to write something that felt authentically Black and authentically gay and was also just authentically fun as fuck. And so I think we've achieved that. I mean, we're trying. We're out here.
I love it. I'm hooked. I'm down for it. My DVR is taped.
Yes.
I am down for it, honey. I am there. I am a fan of the show. I mean, I am so excited about this show. When I first heard it rumbling and the bumblings, and that people were talking about it, I was like, what are y'all talking about? They was like, Rayceen. I said, well, the Tom Swift I know is white. I said they made him Black and he's gay, and I said, oh, I am there for it.
And he's fine too.
Oh,
baby.
let me tell you, the whole cast is just melting in chocolate, it melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
We
I mean,
love it, baby.
it's amazing. You guys you're really onto something because I thought I sat down as I started to watch this, and I watched it with this open blank slate because I had nothing to go by, nothing to gauge it or anything. I said, because there's nothing like it. And I was like, oh, little nuances and little things and everything, the dynamics of the beauty of his parents, these wonderful, fair skinned, wonderful parents that we know in our family, and celebrating our Blackness can have the rainbow tribe.
Yes, they
and
can.
looking at them and having this rainbow tribe. And Tom Swift is dark, fine chocolate. And and I love that, those little nuances about that, the celebration of looking at the cast and all these shades of Blackness.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That was intentional for us. We didn't want to cast. I think the expectations that I saw a lot of on Twitter when people were like, Tom Swift is when Tom Swift was announced, was he's going to be light skinned or he's going to have a white boyfriend. And, some people do that, and that's fine. And that's good. You're happy, that's great. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it was important to me to try to celebrate the diversity in the spectrum of Black beauty and of Black love, and kind of recenter narratives. So who gets to be the hero, who gets to be the most charming, handsome, witty person in the room. And why not do that with a bunch of people who are, a lovely, luxurious, good dive of chocolate? Why not? Especially
we love that. And being able to watch a sci-fi series on the CW. Now, back when I was a teenager, I was a CW head. I was a Gossip Girl watcher, a 90210 watcher, a Vampire Diaries watcher. I was that CW. And before the CW, I was a WB watcher. Charm, Supernatural, all of that. So to be able to see this show with spy elements, giving you rich, giving you luxurious, giving you gadgets, giving you, all of that. That was something that I've always been into. And there was never, a Black gay one that was there, that was not a thing. And then to see the beautiful, what I do love about it too is the homoeroticism. Let me just put it out there. We
do have a lot of that. We do have a lot. We have homoeroticism. Everybody's flirting. The last 3 minutes of episode 103. We've got more than just eroticism.
Exactly. Yes, and I thought that there was something about that, because they started out fighting, that's Tom and Rowan. They started out fighting, it's visceral, it's masculine, the homoeroticism is just bubbling right beneath the surface. And then at the end of the interaction, they have a kiss. Talk to me about how important it was to show, Black men being sexy together, being, having romance, as well as Marquise's character is hinted at that he has a crush on Tom. Maybe not. We'll see how that plays out. But talk to me about the importance of making sure that this was shown on screen.
I mean, it's if you're gonna write gay characters, you have to let them be gay. So you have to, and so if you're gonna write gay characters for the CW is love triangles. It's Chuck Bass and Serena van der Wood, and Blair, and all that. It's love triangles, and so we wanted love triangles and love squares. We wanted as many people to be messily interested in one another as possible. And so, and in addition to that, it was important to me to try to avoid some of the gay cliches that you see in gay fiction. My favorite is the shirt sniff. If you watch any gay movie, if you watch Brokeback, especially with Two Pretty White Boys, there's always a moment where one of them, before, it's just, he has to pick up a shirt and smell it. And then he knows. That's how he knows, oh my God, I'm gay now. I have to have Chet. And so, how do you, James Bond tries to fuck everybody that he meets, every woman, every man, he's flirting with everyone that he interacts with. And so we wanted Tom to be able to do that, and to be able to see and interact with people in an in a way that felt exciting and fun and sexy. Because that's half the reason you watch the show.
Yes. And the show explores so many themes too, and really, really opening up its LGBTQ characters. Because of course, as we mentioned, Rayceen, and you know Marquise,
I've had the pleasure of knowing Marquise personally and watching him. Tell him I said hi. Tell him Rayceen Pendarvis sends his love. I send my love to him. And to watch him grow as an actor, as an activist, as from ballroom to television. And it's such a wonderful honor to see him grow. And he is just this amazing light. But what I love about it is how he has the ability to be real and honest in his transness, and say, I am a proud, open, Black trans man, and I authentic. And to have that written like that was in creating that character, what was it set out for him to be an openly trans person?
From day one, it was super important to Noga and Melinda that, Melinda has a trans son. And so it was super important that she and the rest of us create something where, Casey can look at the screen and be like, that guy is like me, and he's cool, and he has friends, and he gets to be the hero and do cool shit and save the day. And so in thinking about the creation of that character, we just went like super military, like, etc. And then in our writer's room, we had 2 trans writers on our staff last season. And also in working and finding with Marquise, we were able to build someone that felt like a real person, as opposed to like a series of stereotypes that like cis people might project onto that. And that's been quite a learning journey for me as well, just because we think about I am not a trans man. I have to be aware. I've tried to learn to be constantly aware of like, am I projecting my own experiences onto this person in a way that doesn't feel real? And I think it's humbling for people who are minorities in many ways. I'm Black, I'm gay, I'm real tall. No, everyone. But I'm not good at basketball. So again, a minority. But we got 4 now. But my point is that like, he's like, it's hard for me sometimes to like reconcile, like, wait, there's shit I don't know. And it's beautiful to work with Marquise and learn from him and help make that character as real as possible. And in terms of like the reality of who Marquise is, as an actor, like, he's just so willing to go there, and he's so willing to try, and he's so fucking fine that baby. Like, you could do no wrong if you've got a jaw like that. It is what it is.
Oh baby, I tell you, and I'm sure the Isaac character, the way he's written, very, very real, and one is still able to be in the story, to be, fully be in it and see this character and understand this character, and still also be able to learn, because there are many people who probably did turn on the CW and they don't know much about, the trans lives and, the gender and sexuality and all of that, and to see Isaac just there living his regular life and being able to be a part of the mix and what that looks like, and how his romantic prospects might look, and all of that is so important. Many times people cast, especially back in the day, it's just a whole bunch of cliches and stereotypes about whichever trans character it might be, and not really getting into the roots and the reality of what it is, not allowing them to be sexy, not allowing them to all those type of things. So it is great to be able to see this on the CW, also giving you sci-fi. And I want to get into that. What was it like, because you've done Empire, you've done other stuff, but no, this is giving you like real like gadgetry sci-fi. You love James Bond, as you said. And when I was younger, I used to write these little stories all the time, and bitches always had a gadget, honey. You gotta have a gadget to get in or get out.
It's been so much fun. I really love it. It's, I wasn't necessarily a sci-fi writer before, but I found that it's the same part of my brain. So what I mean by that is that when you're writing, Empire is soap. Like, it was like big storytelling. I used to say, if I'm not like laughing as I'm writing it, then I'm doing it wrong. And when you got it, when you're in it, like that, it feels like, yes, absolutely. It's Shakespeare. It's that. And so the stakes have to feel huge. And the sort of story swings that you can take on a show like that are also pretty big. Whereas with sci-fi, it's the same sort of problem-solving mechanism, but it's like, what is the way to take the invention or take the thing that he's making and like link it to story and also make it be kind of dumb, which is always my rule for every one of the inventions, that they have to be just a little bit stupid. It's a camera.
It's that gay eye. We need something to be just a little camp, you know, just a little.
a couple sprinkles of camp, just something like that.
And that's the magic of Tom Swift. When I start watching it into, you know, episode 2, I said, child, this is a mixture of camp. This is a mixture of Inspector Gadget. This is a mixture of Batman with all their belt gadgets, things popping out of everywhere. You know, Bond, and everybody always, especially LGBTQIA folks, we love Bond, but we always wanted a gay Bond. And now we're like, we don't need a gay Bond. We have Tom.
That's weird. There you go.
We're good.
We don't need
so neatly in the it fits so neatly in the CW ecosystem as well, you know, the type of shows that are there and what you kind of expect, but also stands out in its own way with its unique characters and story, and putting a twist on a story that's been told before in its own way, you know, the character of Tom Swift. So that is fabulous to see. So of course you want everybody to tune in, DVR,
watch on the CW app Tuesdays at 9 p.m.
Tuesdays at 9 p.m. So that means the next episode is coming up right now. So.
It's tonight.
Yes.
Tom goes west. We're going country. We got cowboy hats and Mustangs and horses.
Oh, we love that. I always love a good science fiction out west. That's always great. Well, Cameron, how can people find out more about you, follow you, keep up with you, and whatever else that you're doing next?
I am Cameron J. Awesome on all platforms. So you can find me on Instagram, on Twitter. I'm funny on Twitter. I'm cute on Instagram. That's all we do. It's just
and I just stopped following you on Twitter. So for my personal account, Rayceen HRH, Her Royal Highness, please.
Her Royal Highness, I'm
yes.
Royalty.
Thank you
I'm so happy
much
for your Platinum Jubilee.
Yes. Cameron, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been such a pleasure getting to talk with you. Thank you for the work that you're doing in our community and for entertainment and putting our stories out there. And I wish you the best of luck with Tom Swift and your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen Productions at Team Rayceen on all forms of social media. Click around our YouTube channel and check out our other interviews, vlogs, forums, and more. And while you're there, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most of all, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye.